In this video, I'm going to share with you how to make a Bible book cake, and that's coming right now. What's so funny? For another video of mine. If you're new here, I'm Amanda. This is Dylan helping me today, and my channel is all about sharing my love of cake decorating and making cake toppers. So if you're new here, think about subscribing so you don't miss any of our future videos. I say are because you're in a lot of them, aren't you? Because you like baking. Crazy face?
Yeah. I want to say something.
Oh, you want to say something? What do you want to say?
Hi guys. They go to the Bible book. They done my Lego. When we do crack, let's do crack.
Let's get cracking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, you're far better at it than me, aren't you?
One more.
Oh, one more? Okay.
Hi guys. They go to my Lego. No, I do this cracking.
Am I your little girl? Am I boring you?
What?
No, teacher, excuse me, that's not very hygienic.
Scenic.
No, don't.
Scenic.
So this cake is actually for a friend of ours, so I don't mind the little man helping me out. You can help me out whenever it's a friend's cake. And he's washed his hands, haven't you? Even though you were picking your nose and you had to wash them again. Yeah. So we're going to get started. It's just going to be a simple Madeira cake. So what do we put in first? The butter. That's right. Okay, you want to put the butter in? Okay. Then we're going to take the plastic off, aren't we? Because we've that all measured out, didn't we?
I'm turning on.
You turn it on.
There you go.
So now that we've creamed our butter, what do we put in next, Dylan?
Sugar.
Sugar.
Yeah.
You put sugar in. Put it all in.
Yep.
Okay, do you want to turn it up? So now we're going to get on to cracking our eggs.
Yeah.
And because Dylan likes to crack the eggs, I tend to let him crack them into a bowl, and that way I can fish out any shells. Isn't that right?
Let's get cracking. Okay, let's go.
Let's go. Good job. You need to do it a bit harder. Okay, there you go. Good job. And this one's for your shells. Yeah.
Wait up more.
We get more.
Yeah.
There you go. Good job. And then put the shell in here. Whoa. Good job.
I need to put more.
Good boy.
Need to put more.
3 more. Can mommy do one?
Not yet.
Oh. So we're going to do them one at a time. Good job. 1. You want to count with me?
1, 2, 3, 4.
You're doing a great job. Aren't you? You do 1 tail. Okay. Yeah. Yes, I'm having fun. Are you having fun? Listen. So I help you with this one to the top. You count 1, 2.
Show mommy.
Oh, thanks, baby.
Welcome.
Oh, you're so sweet. So I don't have this size of a baking pan. So what do you mean all about?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have this size of baking pan, so I'm using my lasagna dish, or my pie dish. I'm hoping that the cake will be okay. I'm sure we'll find out soon, but that's what I'm going to use to bake the cake in. So let's get it scooped into the...
Yeah.
What do you think?
Great.
So now...
It's nice.
I'm glad you like it. So now I'm going to put this in the oven for about 20-30 minutes at 170.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Mmm. Mmm.
Yeah. So about 10 minutes after I put my cake in the oven, I got a phone call from my daughter's school to say I had to come and pick her up because she wasn't well, which is why the cake is slightly burnt. The joys of being a mummy, eh? Not to worry, I'm going to trim that off. As you can see, I filled the cake with my buttercream and jam, and now I'm going to, normally I would trim off the caramelization, but I'm going to take all of this burnt outside off, and thank goodness it was just only that outer side that was crusty and burned, and shamelessly I'm cutting it into 2 pieces to have with a cup of tea. Burnt cake or not, there's nothing goes to waste in this house. So now I'm putting on my crumb coat, and I'm just sitting thinking to myself, I wonder have I any of that cake left? So once you've your crumb coat done, set your cake in the fridge to chill for 10 or 15 minutes, and while it's chilling, get on to decorating your cake board. So I've covered my board with white icing, and now I'm rolling it with a little rolling pin which has kind of like a wooden grain effect in it. You can't really see it too well in the camera here, but you'll see it whenever I start shading in the board. And now I'm just creating different kind of wooden panels. I've taken my cake out of the fridge, and now I'm adding my main coat of frosting, and wow, if only I could coat frosting as quickly as that in real life. Oh, if only! So now I'm going to add some shading onto the cake board. This is a light brown powder to start off with, edible dust of course. And I always start with the outside of the board. I don't know why, I always like the outside of the board to be darker than the middle. So I'm starting with the outside, and now I'm adding a darker shade of brown, and we're just building up the colour just as a natural wood would be. Concentrating especially in the joins of the wood, and this is how it turned out. I'm really pleased with it. So set that to the side and cover your cake then with your white fondant. And this is how I'm creating the sharper corners. You only need the sharp corners on one side. The other side I've covered the cake more rounded. I didn't worry about the sharp edges. So just put your petals together and trim it off with a knife, and it gives you a nice neat edge. And then the other side I just coated, covered it as I normally would. Trim off your fondant icing, and now I have a little stripper tool, which is great if you're doing shoelaces or something, if you're doing a shoe cake. But I used it to create pages, and I was quite rough with it because I want the Bible to look like it's been read, or that the pages are, I didn't want it to look really, really new. So now I'm using edible gold paint, and we're just going to paint it onto where the pages are. I had to let that dry and then add another coat, and then I transferred my cake onto the board, as you can see. And then this little tool came in handy again, just to create the outer part of the bottom of the cake, the bottom cover of the cake. So put a strip along the outer edge first of all. And trim it off and leave, a few millimeters just so that you can join the other sides too. And again, you only need to do this on those 3 sides where the pages are. And now I'm measuring the cake just for my cover so that I can cut out a piece of fondant that'll fit. I don't have video footage of me cutting out the fondant because clearly I had a long day and I was tired, and no matter how much I'd measured it and cut out the fondant, I couldn't get it right. So my hubby ended up having to measure the fondant for me and cut it out, and I just stuck it onto the cake, which was really handy. Thanks, hubby. Now I'm putting 2 toothpicks underneath the top part of the cover just to hold those 2 corners up. And you're just going to smooth out the cake so it's nice and neat. And now we're going to add some details on the spine of the cake with my trusty Titanic ruler, which I always use for my cakes. Don't worry, I don't use it for the kids' homeworks or anything. And then where I've created those little creases, I've painted in some gold edible paint. And now I'm using a tappets cutter to create the Holy Bible cover. So you're just going to stamp out your letters, and you can paint the title onto the book as well. You don't necessarily need to use a cutter. I just wanted to make sure it was really, really neat and straight. So I'm painting my letters with the green gold paint, with the gold paint, and I've set them onto the cake. I've measured where I want to put them, I've set them on, and now I'm going to stick them on. It's a good way just to make sure that you've got your writing where you want it, where it's not going to be higgledy-piggledy, is just to set it on first, get it into position, and then lift it off and stick it on, rather than just going in and hoping for the best, which is what I used to do in the early days. You can just imagine how that worked out. So I was going to make an edible bookmark, but then I decided to go for a pen, and as I say, this is our pastor of our church, so I wanted it to be a bit personal and leave a wee note on it. So I've rolled out a small white cone shaped piece of fondant for the tip, and then a long snake piece, and I've created a crease in the middle with my fingers. Now I'm creating an indentation where the tip is, and I've inserted 2 cocktail sticks into the main body of the pen, and then we're just going to stick on the white pieces, and anything that's white on this pen is going to be painted gold. So I hope you're getting value out of my cake decorating videos. I know that I'm really, really enjoying making the cakes and also sharing them with you. It's the best of both worlds. And if there's anything you want to see, leave me a comment below. Give me plenty of ideas as to what you might want me to create for you next time. So I'm just creating and painting, my goodness, painting on the gold details onto the pen and the pen. And now I've written my little note which says happy 50th birthday, Pastor. It's just a small white piece of fondant, and stick that onto the cake, add the pen, and there you go, you've got your Bible cake. This is our favourite part of baking, isn't it, Dylan? Oh dear.
Cheers.
Cheers!
Thanks for watching my video.
Thanks for watching our video, and think about subscribing so you don't miss any future videos. Bye!